Welcome to Microsoft Excel 2010. In this session, I'm going to show you my personal top 10 favorite Excel tips. Starting with inserting the system date, and then autofill techniques, using custom date and number formatting, custom lists, quick filling of cell ranges, two-dimensional sums, duplicating sheets, editing multiple sheets simultaneously, creating a quick chart, and finally viewing sheets side by side. I'm going to begin by clicking in cell E3. Here I'm going to enter the system date by using a keyboard shortcut, Control-semicolon. I can confirm that by pressing Control-Enter, and you can see the default date has been used. Now, I want to use a different date format for my column headings. So I'm going to go to the number formatting dialog box, choose Custom, and as we can see, M, D, and Y have been used in a way that displays the date in a certain fashion. By changing that to something that is more suitable for my needs, working with 4 M's and 4 Y's, I now have the month represented fully spelled out and a 4-digit year. You can work with the D's, M's, and Y's in whatever way makes sense to you, including adding slashes or dashes between them. Play with this idea and see what works for you. As I click OK, I'm returned to my cell and worksheet, and I now want to use the autofill button to propagate the months in the next 2 columns. I'm going to use the right mouse button for this autofill technique. This will produce a slightly different result, and as you can see, a pop-up menu appears. This is how I can choose to fill months instead of days or years, and I can even go down to series and choose a different step value if I want to skip months, or choose every 7 days to get week by week increment. In my case, I still want to use months, so I'm going to click that and leave it at step value 1 and click OK. As you can see, I need to widen the column to see all months fully. So now I've got my month column headings ready to go. Next, I'm going to put my row headings. In cell D4, I'm going to enter the province abbreviation BC and press Control-Enter, and that's going to represent the first province in my list of row headings. Now, as I click with the left mouse button on the autofill button at the bottom right corner of the BC cell, I'm dragging down, and with each row, the indicator tells me it's going to change the abbreviation to the next province. As I release, they are now fully displayed. Now this has to be created before you can use it, and the place we create the autofill list or custom list is in the File tab, Options dialog box, Advanced Category, and all the way down to the bottom in the General section there is a button, Edit Custom Lists. The custom list has already been created, as you can see here. If I create it on the worksheet, it makes it easier for me to simply import it using the Import button on the right. Otherwise, I can simply type them in the List Entries field. For now, I can simply cancel to come back to my worksheet. Next, I want to add some numbers. In this case, I'm selecting a block of cells under my column headings, and I'm going to enter a function, the rand function, just below March 2012. The rand function is a useful function when you want to simply generate a random number on your worksheet. Rather than pressing Enter, I want to take advantage of a technique, a shortcut, that allows me to push the function rand to all remaining cells in the selection. So Control Enter is how I do that. As you can see, all cells now have a decimal value. Since I want a whole number, I can modify the rand function and type in star for multiply 1000, multiplying that random function by 1000 so that I can get a bigger number to work with. Once I do that, I now want to take the decimals away, hiding those decimals, leaving me just with the whole numbers displayed. Now that I've done that, I want to get some totals. Summing both on the right-hand side and below, I highlight my numbers and include a blank column and row so that I can use the AutoSum function to populate those totals in one step. Notice my totals are represented on the right and at the bottom where the blank cells were highlighted. Now that I've done that, I'm going to click down below my province abbreviations and control click to the right of May 2012, and I now want to enter the word total. By pressing Control Enter, I'm able to enter that label in both selected cells. Again, an excellent shortcut. Next, I want to put a title just above my data. This will be employee hours for 2012. And I'm going to put a label just above my province abbreviations. The worksheet is looking pretty good. Next, what I want to do is duplicate this sheet because I know I'm going to need a similar sheet for 2013. A quick technique to duplicate an entire sheet is to use the Sheet tab with the Control key and drag either to the right or the left. I'm clicking on Sheet 1, pressing Control, dragging to the right, and duplicating that sheet entirely. As you can see, the sheet names should be renamed to clearly identify which sheet is which. So I'm going to enter 2012 on the first sheet and 2013 on the second sheet. Because this is for the next year, I also want to update the values directly on the sheet, including the month and year column headings. In a similar fashion, I'm going to use the right mouse button on the autofill button to drag and create a series of months. Now that I've got two sheets, I might decide that I want to make a change to both sheets simultaneously. So we're going to learn how to select multiple sheets by using the Control key down on the Sheet tabs. As I Control click back on 2012, it changes it to a white tab. I can use Control on as many sheets as I like, and that's going to allow me to make the exact same change on all the sheets simultaneously. Be very careful. This task of grouping sheets, notice the group word in the title bar, can be dangerous because you might not realize that the change that you're making on one sheet is being propagated to the other sheets in your selection. So be very aware and very conscious of group mode. I'm going to click away from all sheets as one method of canceling the group mode, and then I'm going to return to 2012 and again Control-click on 2013. Next, I want to click on cell D1 and apply a format to this cell. Using the Format, Cell Styles, and the Title Style, I am able to format both sheets simultaneously with that style. On my column headings, in a similar fashion, Cell Styles, and Heading 3. Next, I want to apply border style here on the total row at the bottom. And finally, I want to apply a number format using the currency symbol here. Every single change that I just applied has been applied also on sheet 2013. As I click on that sheet tab, you'll see that they are identical. Now I want to cancel group mode. Another method of canceling group mode is right-clicking. Ungroup sheets. The next step is creating a quick chart out of my numbers. I'm highlighting the column headings, row headings, and the raw data, not including the totals. And I generate a quick chart by pressing the F11 function key. I'm instantly given a separate sheet representing the chart based on the selection of data. What I'd like to do is see my sheet with data beside the chart so that I can compare them side by side. To do this, I go up to View and I select New Window. New Window replicates the entire workbook, making it possible for me to work with multiple sheets in the same workbook and view them side by side. To see that effect, I then move to Arrange All. I'm going to select Tiled and click OK. And we now see the two sheets side by side within the same workbook. Bear in mind that even as you modify one or the other, you are working with the same exact workbook and sheet. It's simply mirroring to a second window. Notice the number 1 on the title bar of the right-hand side and the number 2 on the left. I'm going to click on the tab 2012 here on the left, and I'm going to display my data. This is the data that generated the chart. If I refresh the data on this 2012 sheet, the chart will reflect that change. Because I'm using the random function, all of the numbers update accordingly every time the sheet is refreshed. And so with that, once I'm done, I can close either the left or the right window of the workbook and then return to a full screen display. And so with that, we've now covered my personal top 10 favorite Excel tips. Enjoy using these tips and enjoy using Microsoft Excel 2010. Thank you.